Ladies and gentlemen, this is Babylon Has Fallen. We are coming to you live. Nope, I want to start that over. Or maybe not. I'm going to keep it. This is the number one podcast from San Jose, California. Do you know of any other podcasts that come out of here?
No.
Fuck them
no.
if they do. I'm Mason
And you know
Sanders.
what? We always come live, don't we?
Yes, we do. We always, yes. Even if this comes out 3 months from now, this is live. This is a July 4th weekend. We saw Elvis, which was actually surprisingly pretty good. A lot of people were talking shit. It's like whatever I would see ads for it on Instagram, I would just see like, oh man, this movie looks like ass. And it doesn't. It isn't. It actually looks really cool.
Well, that's like, I guess that makes a lot of sense for like before it came out.
Not since though. No one said a bad thing since it came out.
Because I went to see it like if it came out Thursday night technically.
Yeah.
I went to see it the Friday after. I went to see it immediately because I love Baz Luhrmann already.
The director.
The director. And I knew it was going to be great, at least for me. And there was nobody in our theater.
Right.
And we went today and it was packed.
Yes.
So things have changed.
I wanted to get my booster sitting next to that many people. No.
Oh my God.
It was nice. It's going to sound corny, but it's nice that Elvis has an audience again. I was telling you, this movie, it hits every single mark that a biopic usually does, and that's not a good thing. It does have its fair share of cliches. Yeah, cliches. That's a fucking word. No, it does have its fair share of cliches, but it is saved by a fucking remarkable performance by Austin Butler. I don't know why I stammered on his name, but no, Austin Butler. Brought this man back to life.
He really did.
And it's weird because, like, it's not even in the performance per se. Because, like, if anything, I feel like the dancing is kind of the only thing that's just a little bit off, but everything else is uncanny. But it's like the subtle, just like asides that he would say under his breath, or just like the incoherent mumbling, or just like a look that he would give when just handing someone just an object in a scene.
No, exactly.
Like, fuck, that's Elvis.
There's like small details, and maybe that's why you lose it a bit in the dance moves, because that is like so recognizably Elvis.
Right.
You know? It's the things that people are going to latch onto more than the small things. So if he paid more attention to trying to do the small things, those looks, I know exactly what you're talking about. That captured me a lot more, and the dancing captured me in the first place. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
But especially during the Vegas performances.
Yes. No, Austin Butler gives a remarkable performance. I can't say that enough, honestly. It's just everything else about this movie, other than the editing and it's the editing. The production design's actually pretty good. Like the set design, for concerts and whatnot, is really, really good. It's just, like I was telling you, it's hard with biopics to not only hit the same marks every single time, but to cram an entire person's life into 2 hours or 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
To where, like, the Great Depression and his childhood is fleshed out very, very well, and you see his influences. And this movie actually does show Elvis giving credit to black people, which is nice. Not that it happened, but, it's nice.
It is nice. There's always been difficulty in that area. I remember I took a mass media class this past semester. And that was one of the things we touched on in our music unit. Yeah. I mean, my teacher loved Elvis. He's been most excited for this movie forever. Right. And there was, doing research on it, there was a back and forth. People like B.B. King supported Elvis. Like, he really did. Yeah. But, there were others who didn't, who saw him as, like, stealing.
Culture vulture, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's always been back and forth on that. But it's very, you can't deny that Elvis loved black music.
Yes. Yeah.
He did.
And was heavily influenced by it.
Yeah.
But I think this movie does do an inconceivable job of humanizing Elvis Presley.
Oh, yeah.
By showing... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. It's just that, he's the king of rock and roll. Right. They even, I think...
The most famous entertainer of all time.
Priscilla Presley told Austin, and it's like, honestly, the most discouraging thing. I would not want to hear that as an actor. She told him, you have big shoes to fill. And he not only filled them, I feel, but he brought the king to a real level to where it's understandable that, like, as much as he's a legend, he's still a real person.
Yeah.
Which is what he tried to connect on when he was doing Elvis. And what he found was that Elvis's mom died when he was 23.
Right.
And Austin's mom died when he was 23.
Really?
Yes. So
I did not know that.
So he had that ability to find
that connection.
That connection to where, you know, people can no longer just, like, look at him as a celestial body. He's even more special because he's not a celestial body.
Right.
Because he could do all these things. You know, he is a talent because he worked hard for it.
He worked very, very hard. He was overworked for it.
Overworked.
I love how this movie depicts the abuse that, like, physically, mentally, and financially.
The paranoia. That he gets
just
in that Vegas
fatigue, era. The fucking... Oh, yeah, you mentioned that. The paranoia. The fact that he has a gun strapped to him.
Yeah.
For, like, half of his performances. But it focuses on the abuse at the hands of Colonel Parker, Elvis's manager. Yeah. Played terribly by Tom Hanks.
Yeah, this is honestly the first Tom Hanks performance I've ever watched that I did not like at all.
It's terrible.
It's no, I mean,
I
don't want to put
accent to stick to. I mean,
I don't want to give offense to Tom Hanks.
He's in a god-awful fat suit half the time. You know the boy loves to eat. You know he will pack on the pounds. Have you seen him in that one fucking movie? He's in an airport and he eats like fucking 3 or 4 Big Mac Whoppers. So not Big Mac Whoppers, no. But he eats four Whoppers back to back and you're just like, all right, you're a fat boy at heart.
I've not
Enough
seen
with
that.
the keto.
I've not seen that movie.
Pack on the pounds, because that fat suit is fucking distracting. That accent is fucking distracting. And again, like, you were right. A lot of the people in this movie, namely Priscilla, in the supporting cast, just don't really feel like people of that era.
Yeah.
And just feel like, you know, modern actors playing dress up. However, though, the extras in this movie, the people in the audience,
so convincing,
looked just like audience members from the 1950s. Like they would show Austin, you know, doing a performance, and then they would cut back to the audience, and it looks like they could have been in black and white on the Ed Sullivan Show.
I mean, if you could step on that set with the extras alone, you would feel transported to that era. If you were to step on set with, like, some of their side actors, like the actress who played Priscilla, I'm so sorry to her. She did not convince me that she was from the 60s.
No.
But the extras alone, my God.
The time jumps are a little bad in this. I didn't know when it was the 70s and when it was the 60s. And that's another thing. I can't let go. I'm sorry. Listen, Elvis's career it's sort of in like 3 acts. You have Act 1, which is the 50s, his ascension, and debatably his peak. You have the lull, right after he comes back from the military in the 60s, where he's just stuck doing these god-awful movies. Yeah. One after the other. And just the Beatles show up, and Elvis mania starting to die out. And then he does this comeback special in 1968.
1968, my favorite year.
Where he just fucking goes in hard against his manager's fucking... I guess like recommendations or just like persistence in trying to do this god-awful Christmas special, and instead decides that he's just going to sing the music that he wants to. And from then on gets a bit of a resurgence in the 70s, which is like the 3rd act, the final act of his career. And he's just playing in Vegas and he's doing concerts all over the place, but he's just being overworked by this fucking bitch, Colonel Parker.
Colonel Parker. He's not even a colonel. We need to strip that title away from him.
No, he's not. He's just Tom. He's just this fucking alien named Tom that couldn't get fucking citizenship, so Elvis wasn't allowed to tour internationally. That's a huge part of the movie. But either way, Tom Hanks aside, the film's pretty good. And
I think the film is great.
I actually would say it's pretty fucking great.
Yeah.
I was gonna say damn near great. No, it's a great movie. Again, like visually, Editing-wise, it's like one of the more interesting biopics that you will ever see. It's one of the more interesting movies visually to come out this year, period. And again, it has probably, as pretentious as this is going to sound, the most transcendent performance that we're probably going to get all year. Unless we get something gnarly in the next 6 months. But as it stands, as of June or / July of 2022, Austin Butler taking the cake.
I mean, this is going to sound so corny, but that's why I want him to get the Oscar. Like you said, I mean, here's the thing.
I am tired, though, of the best actor always being the person that just did a biopic.
I understand that. I've heard that a lot, and I agree with it a lot.
It's so cheap.
The actor that gets it is usually a guy that does the biopic. I understand that. This time, I think I give a little leeway for Austin.
Yeah.
I think it's deserving.
It's on the level, if not surpassing, Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury.
I disagree with you on that. I mean, we could argue.
You think that Austin's a little bit better?
You
know what? You're right. No, Austin is a better performance just because of the subtle mannerisms. As great as Austin gets the mannerisms and the nuance of Elvis down better than Rami did of Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury gets the performance and showmanship down of the character that he's trying to portray better than Austin Butler did.
You said Freddie Mercury. Do you mean Rami Malek?
Whatever the fuck. You know what I mean. You know what the fuck I mean.
Yeah.
That sounded so fucking eloquent in my head. Of fucking course I botched it. Anyways.
You're good. You're good.
Do you watch Better Call Saul?
God, I'm not caught up. I do.
Oh,
I'm not caught up, though.
Okay.
I know that Jesse and Walt show up.
Not yet.
Not yet?
No, not yet.
They've been teasing it then.
So they are in their last 6 or 7 episodes starting July 11th, so you have till then to get caught up.
I don't have AMC.
You have Netflix. It's on Netflix.
Not the newest.
You're not caught up on the newest season.
Yeah, I'm not caught up. I'm like caught up on everything but what's like going now.
Well, this season is fucking insane.
Okay.
It's weird because it's like it's insane, but it's not at like a breakneck pace. I'm trying to say things without spoiling anything. I think the only major shift that I've noticed that's consistent that I can share without really spoiling anything, and that may lead to some fun theories. I've noticed that the relationship between Kim Wexler and Saul Goodman has gotten significantly colder on Jimmy's end. The more corrupt that Kim acts, or the more like impulsive or just like kind of schemy that she acts, he gets a little turned off by. And, everyone's wondering whether or not is Kim Wexler going to die by the end of this series, because obviously she isn't in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I don't think she is.
Okay.
Because I think that Saul Goodman is way too happy of a guy in Breaking Bad to have lost the love of his life.
That's very true. He's so peppy in that.
He's almost happier in Breaking Bad than he is in Better Call Saul. That's not a man that's lost his wife, the love of his life.
Yeah.
I do think that okay, like the obvious the next theory would be, okay, well then Kim's just going to get sick of Saul Goodman and just dump him. I think because Vince Gilligan is always trying to subvert expectations, it would be insane if Jimmy was the one to leave Kim.
Yeah.
That would be insane. Either that or she gets locked up. That's been another theory. I think, they've also been teasing, both in the show, but also just, I've noticed online, that she might get involved in the cartel. And that could be interesting. I think that her and Gus Fring would hit it off very well.
Yeah, I mean, those were when you started talking about the theories, those were really the only two things that I figure would be most likely, is either she gets so deep into it she just decides to join the cartel,
right, or
Jimmy leaves her.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, I know what you said about them trying to do twists and everything.
Right.
To me, it doesn't seem very far off if you said that he grows colder towards her the more deep she gets. So
because there are some moments where she's like, all right, here's how we're gonna fuck over Howard Hamlin, and he's just like, oh, we're still on that. It's like, oh, they're at that point of the relationship. Yikes. But either way, no, watch, get caught up on this season. It's good. If you haven't been watching Better Call Saul, I get it. The first couple episodes of season 1, slow as all shit. some of the worst television I've ever seen.
Whew.
Not that it's bad television, but it's just...
hard to get hooked.
It's hard to get hooked, and it's, like, especially grueling if you had, like, just finished watching the last episode of Breaking Bad, and then you're like, all right, I'm ready for more, and you just watch Saul Goodman in a fucking courthouse, just monotone. Either way, just get through the first 3 episodes. You're in for a wild fucking ride. It makes the entire world of Breaking Bad so much more richer. So much more rich. Okay, so much more. Shut up! My God, my grammar's been all over the. I sprained my fucking ankle.
Oh,
It's been a rough week.
Do you want me to be more merciful towards you?
Not
because
particularly.
Of your ankle?
No, because no one
your
has
ankle
been. I've been
affects your
going to
brain?
fucking work with the fucking boot on. I stopped wearing it after day 3. I'm sorry. Kaiser is nothing but a giant sham. Okay, there is no reason that the cast that they give you should make you be in more pain than the actual injury itself. You know what I mean? Either that or I'm wearing it wrong. But either way, I'll hold Kaiser responsibly. Fully responsible. I don't care. Okay? I'm walking autocorrect. I'm constantly going to be typing O. My computer's getting hot. We're recording this inside of a car.
Inside Billy. Shout out to Billy, everybody.
We're recording this inside of Billy. Because that sounds good.
Steve would be so proud.
Because that's a thought that needs to be vocalized. Billy's the name of your car. What's the name significant for?
Oh, from one of my biggest ships of all time.
Okay. Well, anyways, my car's
diverting the subject immediately.
My name's
He's
my
like,
car's
God
name.
Help me! Don't let.
We're gonna be
get
here for an
into
hour
this.
if we do this. My car's name is
Let me
Ava,
recount my
after
whole
Ava Gardner.
fanfiction.
I'm going to LA pretty soon. I'm excited. It's a long drive. I have a couple episodes that I'm going to be recording there. I might do a little. I did this like last year or the year before. I think it was last year. I did a video on Alcatraz, and I want to do one on Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh, yes.
Either way, it won't get any views, but I think it would just be a lot of fun to do. Actually, you
It
know
won't
what?
fulfill you.
It's going to get trillions of views, Lillian.
Yeah, because this is the only
This
podcast
is
out
the #1 podcast in San Jose, California.
out of San Jose.
If you're wondering what San Jose, California is like,
it is the Michigan of California.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's a lot like Detroit mixed with LA.
I'm allowed to say that because a lot of my family's from Michigan. So
Well,
yeah.
I guess that gives you some sort of pride.
Right.
We're going around bragging about that.
God, it's the only thing I have to brag about.
It's all good.
I've been to Michigan and Southern California, and that's it. And Georgia once. Let's not talk about that.
On the bottom of the barrel. We're recording outside of a wedding venue somewhere in the San Jose Hills.
In fact, I am so loud. I guarantee you, I'm ruining this person's wedding.
We're definitely ruining their wedding. But you know what? They're rich, and I feel like they're gonna survive, whoever they are. How long do you think their marriage is gonna last?
Who?
Well, here's the thing.
Do you think it's arranged?
Oh. That was good. That's the first thing I thought. That's the first thing I thought, too.
If only these people could see where we are right now.
If only the audience could see the venue. But anyways.
We are 100% trespassing right now.
But, yeah, thanks for saying that loud enough for all the fucking security guards to hear.
Where is the security? Where are they?
Have you been watching The Boys?
Of course I've been watching The Boys.
Just for the for the sake of the show, that response worked. Yeah, I have had some slight aversions. I love that I like to use these big words and always fumble the pronunciation. Have you noticed that? It's a lovely little quirk.
Yes. Would you like me to do
What's
big
the
words?
word? The proper
Aversion?
Aversion, that's the word. I had a slight aversion to watching The Boys, but I started watching a little bit of The Boys Presents Diabolical. I know you have a thing against animation.
Yes, I just can't really catch on to animation.
I'm the opposite. I almost fetishize it. I love animation quite a bit. No, I love I I love superheroes in general, and it's fun seeing them be deconstructed. I will say the only thing that holds me back from watching the show is,
You're
not.
tired of evil Superman.
It's not even that. I like actually evil Superman is a trope that I'm a fan of. It's just, you know, the way in which the show not only deconstructs like the archetypes of various superheroes, but just deconstructs the whole genre as a whole, is very, very fascinating, and it's kind of the only way that characters like that can work in a modern setting. But just seeing superheroes be that bloody and just that gross and sexual and like just fucked up. And as much of a fucking prude and as much of a fucking pussy as I sound right now, I like to feel a little bit of hope when I see a cape. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the whole appeal to them.
That's the whole appeal.
Like,
and
people are getting tired of that Hope Marvel.
And that's
formula.
fine. That's fine. It's just sad that that's just kind of the state of the world. It's a sign of the times. I guess that's why I bring it up.
I mean, it really is. You're not wrong. I'm the same way. As much as I'm an angsty bitch, I like to see a little bit of hope. I like to say I'm an angst with a happy ending bitch.
Yeah.
So, I can understand that, but the quality of the show.
It's ridiculously good.
I'm still gonna argue that you should watch it.
I'm going to for sure.
Okay.
Every time that I see something about it on YouTube, I'm like, I gotta watch this immediately. And now that I have Prime, I really have no excuse.
And now that Jensen's there.
Yeah, we were talking about that. If you aren't watching The Boys now, you should. It's just this show about what if superheroes were real, and it's like the most fucked up thing you can possibly put on a screen.
Yeah, pretty much.
But they have this character named Soldier Boy that is played by Supernatural's Jensen Ackles, and he is basically this douchey Captain America, and he is somehow the most earnest and heartbreaking character of the entire show.
And that's what surprised me so much, is because I read up a little bit about him as a comic character.
Wildly different.
Yes. They changed a lot.
Yeah.
But I think for the better. Like,
Definitely,
a lot of times, you know, I'm a book girl. You don't like book to movie adaptations where they change a lot. But it's so much better. And I think because Jensen, you know.
He's a very, very underrated actor.
Yeah,
he has a lot of depth and a lot of pathos. Is that the right word? Fuck it. He has a lot of depth and pathos for a CW actor. Ethos?
I'm pretty sure.
How about logos? Is there a fourth one?
There's only 3.
Okay. I have a whole new respect for Elvis after watching that movie. I'm sorry, like that was a genuinely good biopic. I hate biopics generally.
Yeah.
Because there's always that one scene where it's just like, man, here's the thing that inspires me to write a very famous song. Oh wait, the next line's gonna be the title of that song. It's a very, very niche observation, but you'll know it when you see it.
All biopics have that moment where,
I always feel like you're going to say Bioshock, and I get all excited. It's just biopic.
I'm sorry,
you never got into Bioshock, did you?
No,
you just don't like shooters, right?
Yeah, first-person shooters, no.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
I noticed that a lot of girls don't like first-person shooters.
Really?
Is it just intense for you ladies?
No, it's just annoying.
Speaking of annoying and intense, talk about Roe v. Wade, am I right?
God. Oh my God.
What a whole to-do.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court.
Yeah.
If I had the address of these justices,
I have them.
I'd say them. Plug them on the podcast, actually.
All right.
You know what?
Let me find them.
If you want to know what the addresses of these fuckers that keep fucking over the American people, they will be coming up shortly.
Yeah.
Now, I do not condone violence, but I also don't condemn it in the slightest. So,
hey, we were given free speech.
You're also into Anakin Skywalker now? Why do you have a crush on Hayden Christensen?
No. It's not that. We're not gonna... I might tell you, but you will hate me, so...
That's fine. Let's go through the address.
All right, Clarence Thomas lives at 666... Hold on. Are you serious? Anyway, 6665 Routledge? Is
yeah,
that
Rutledge.
Rutledge
Drive,
Fairfax Station,
Virginia, zip code
22039.
22031. Oh, 39. Yes, 39, not 31.
Can you read?
Barely. Amy
Amy
Cody.
Cody Barrett.
I love this bitch. We were talking about her last year. Amy
Yeah.
Cody.
Coney Barrett.
I almost wanted to call her the F word, but only because it rhymed. I know that she's obviously not gay, but, you know, her husband probably is. Doesn't she have a bunch of black kids?
Does she?
She does. I think she adopted a couple black kids, and it's like, all right, you know what you're doing, Amy.
Ugh.
Trying to win some fucking points.
Oh, God. I hope that's not why she's doing it. I would like to have hope that some of these people have a glimmer of hope in their hearts. Not hope, sorry. You're brushing off on me. A glimmer of good in their hearts.
Lily, they didn't get this far in politics.
Being good people. And caring.
Anyways, Amy Comey Barrett lives at 235 Stephanie Marie Drive, Falls Church, Virginia. I almost called Virginia, California. No, Virginia, zip code 22043. And I don't feel like doing the rest of these because it's just boring broadcasting. But you get the idea.
Oh, there's Brett Kavanaugh. You've got to do him.
Okay, Brett Kavanaugh lives at 3706 Underwood Street. Chevy Chase? No! There's a street called Chevy Chase. Is Chevy Chase his neighbor?
Oh my God.
Chevy Chase, Maryland. I'm sorry. There's a town named Chevy Chase. That's the greatest thing I've ever heard. Zip code 20815. I mean, what are your thoughts on Roe v. Wade?
As I am going to say it again, I don't care if this podcast hears it. I don't care if these, 3 trillion people that listen to
masses.
this podcast.
Civilians.
Here's it. I've not even started my sex life yet. And I will never be able to.
I mean, at this rate, I'm sorry, Lily.
It's okay. We all knew.
It's been rough. You know, it's been rough on you gals. And,
yeah. No, if anything, honestly, I'm just scared.
Yeah. Because
what's next? Interracial marriage, LGBT.
I feel like LGBT probably might be next.
It's gonna come before interracial marriage, I feel.
Think, yeah.
Anything is
I don't know if
possible.
interracial marriage is gonna get repealed.
I think so.
You're mixed. I'm mixed. I don't think interracial relationships as a concept.
Okay, but we also live in California.
That's true. That also has got to be very, very egregious to the rest of the country.
Yeah.
A bunch of Californians fucking protesting and, thoughts and prayers and the whole 9 yards that we always do when it doesn't, affect us. Where do you stand on that?
I can completely understand.
It's almost condescending. The performative activism aspect of it. The actual outrage, the genuine outrage and cries for justice and whatnot.
Yeah.
Totally founded. Totally justified.
But I mean, we're relatively safe for right now in California.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we're not going to be affected. That doesn't mean that anything can't happen.
Yes.
I think it's just, this is so hard for me because I'm so back and forth. I get it. I really do. But I also feel just as somebody in a household with one person that's conservative that has to hear about this shit all the time. As much as I'm not affected, by this law yet, I'm just so angry.
Yeah.
I'm still angry.
Understandably. Every woman in this country is right now. And justifiably.
So.
Well, it's also
what you can't say, sing.
I asked my grandma, because my grandma and I were on the phone the other day. She was like, I'm watching Joe Biden on the television. Roe v. Wade, huh? And I was like, yeah, what's your stance on that, Grandma? And she's like, I side with God. I was like, all right, Grandma, I love you. I'm going to talk to you in a little bit. Yeah. But it's a mess. We got a mess. It's the decline of an empire. We're at the end of what was a pretty fun road. But
it was a very short one, though, when you think
about... It was a very
about
short one.
what, like, we reached basically
post-war
peak
up
near
until
freedom.
about 9/11.
Yeah, that's a very short period of time.
That's very short. Fuck. That's
you
what, like a
understand that?
60-year empire, if
Yeah.
that. That's being generous.
Yeah, and I know, like,
God, that's depressing.
you might be thinking, like, oh, 60 years, that sounds like a long time.
No.
Think about
China.
Yes. Think about every country that's been built.
Like, literally every other country.
Yes.
The UK, Rome, or, Italy. Rome.
I think it's Europe. Yes, because we are still living in the...
Ever heard of it?
We're still living in the Roman Empire.
Greenland.
Iceland,
Babylon. What else?
Don't get me started on, like, the Vikings.
I want to come up with a new title for the show.
Yeah.
What do you think would be a good title?
Oh, don't ask me for titles. I'm terrible.
Mason's Corner?
No.
No. I want Mason to be in the name.
Mason? You want Mason?
I want Mason to be in the name. The Fox's Den. My middle name is Fox.
Yeah, yes, I know, but,
Okay.
like... Yeah, what's funny is before you had said that, I was like, do something with Fox in it. You got PTSD, I know.
It's
Uh,
I don't know. I feel like Mason.
yeah.
Mason has a nice ring to it.
Yeah. Before we finish
What
this...
a name.
Before we finish this, like, title thing, I just need to say, like, one thing.
What's up?
Touching on Roe v. Wade. I've said it before to some family members and some friends. This might be, like, one of the most eloquent things I've come up with in the first place. Our older generations need to stop building a world that they are not going to be living in for much longer.
Well done.
Thank you.
I think we're just gonna end it there. That was,
Yeah.
I mean, fuck. Yeah, I mean, can't really top that.